Greetings, everyone. My name is Krista Blow, and today I'm going to share a profile of a mother who has navigated significant challenges and transformation. The title of this presentation is Extending an Olive Branch: Motherhood, Growth, and Connection. This phrase symbolizes the desire for healing and connection between a mother and her grown child. The mother we're exploring today will be referred to as CO. Let's begin by understanding the background of CO. She's in her early 60s and works in the real estate industry. As a single mother to a grown daughter in her late 30s, CO raised her daughter alone after a divorce. Originally from Peru, CO moved to another country to build a better life, a decision that reshaped the course of her life and experience as a mother. Her journey is one of resilience, love, and sacrifice. Moving on to the psychological aspect of CO's experience, she expressed deep feelings of guilt, particularly about not being able to always be present for her daughter because of work commitments. She also felt emotional weight of raising her daughter on her own after a divorce. Despite the challenges, her love for her daughter remained unconditional. CO finds satisfaction in her role as a mother, even though it has been difficult and complex. Cognitively, CO reflects on the disconnect between her ideal view of motherhood, being always present, emotionally available, and the reality she faced, which involved balancing work and single motherhood. She also has a spiritual connection to her role, seeing motherhood as a divine responsibility. However, she expressed uncertainty about whether her daughter fully understood the sacrifices she made, and she often chose to not express her struggles to protect her daughter from the burdens. Her growth point lies in her realization that motherhood has helped her develop a deeper sense of self awareness, compassion, and spiritual growth. However, her pain point revolves around the gap between the idealized version of motherhood and her actual experience, particularly how she generalized her feelings rather than speaking in I statements, which prevented her from fully engaging with the reality of her role. Next, let's look at the socioeconomic challenges that she faced. As a single mother, CO dealt with financial instability, balancing the demands of work, and raising her daughter. These challenges created significant emotional and financial strain. Despite these barriers, CO remained committed to ensuring her daughter had opportunities that herself, CO, never had. The growth point here is that CO managed to provide for her daughter despite the financial struggles, striving to give her the best opportunities. However, the pain point lies in the guilt that she felt, as she sometimes couldn't be there for her daughter emotionally due to her work commitments. She worried that her daughter may have felt neglected or unsupported during difficult times. Now, moving on to the existential aspects of her experience, I noticed that CO often used generalized statements about motherhood rather than I statements, which created a distance between her idealized view of motherhood and her actual experience. This cognitive disconnect affected how she emotionally engaged with her role. Her growth point comes from her deep understanding of the responsibility of motherhood and how it is served as both a personal and spiritual journey. She sees her role as a mother as not just about nurturing her daughter, but about her own growth and connection to something greater than herself. However, the pain point here is that she used generalized language, from fully embracing the complexity of her role, creating a gap between her ideal and actual experience of motherhood. Uh, a quote that she said was, "I think that God gives you who you need in your life to experience the world and to grow." This quote reflects CEO's belief that her daughter was a gift, someone who helped her grow spiritually and emotionally despite the challenges that they faced together, which is a great reflection. I think it would just sound differently had she said, "I think God gives me who I need in my life to experience the world and grow." The difference between I statements and general statements can create a disconnect, which was the point I wanted to emphasize. So, in summary, CO's experience as a mother has been marked by a deep emotional and cognitive growth, but also by significant pain and sacrifice. My recommendations for CO are as follows. First, she could benefit from an open and honest communication with her daughter, addressing any emotional gaps and deepening their connection. Second, I'd suggest that CO forego assumptions about her daughter's actions and instead ask questions openly without judgment to create a space where her daughter can share without feeling criticized. Finally, CO might explore therapeutic avenues to help process the guilt and emotional complexity she has carried throughout her journey as a mother. So I thank you so much for listening to the journey of CO. Despite her challenges, I believe this interview displayed a testament to the strength and resilience that comes from unconditional love and sacrifice as CO saw and experienced it. And I hope this presentation highlights the importance of understanding and the emotional complexities of motherhood and the value of embracing both the growth and pain that comes with it. If you have any questions or would like to discuss any part of the presentation, I'm going to be happy to engage. Thank you so much.